A man is floating face down in the ocean. No rescue boat, no witnesses, no one coming, just silence and dark water. Then something nudges him from below. Not a hand, a fin. Within seconds, there are three of them, pushing him up, pushing him toward shore. He survives, and no one can explain why. Most people hear a story like this and immediately reach for comfort. It was an accident. The animal was confused. It's just a coincidence. These explanations feel safe. They keep the world simple. But here's the problem. The stories won't stop. Dolphins guiding drowning swimmers to shore, whales positioning their bodies between divers and sharks, elephants standing guard over injured humans for hours, gorillas protecting children who fall into their enclosures. If it were random, it would have stopped repeating by now. It hasn't. So scientists started asking a different question. Not did this happen, but why? And what they found buried in decades of animal cognition research was quietly extraordinary. These animals weren't confused. They weren't acting by accident. In many cases, they appeared to understand exactly what they were doing, which raises a possibility most people are not prepared for. For most of human history, we drew a very specific line. On one side, humans, minds, emotions, consciousness. On the other side, animals, instinct, reflex, mechanical behavior, clean separation, comfortable. But that line has been slowly, quietly eroding. Researchers studying elephants noticed something strange. When an elephant encounters the bones of another elephant, even one it never knew, it stops. It touches the bones with its trunk. It stands there, sometimes for long periods, not foraging, not fleeing, not doing anything with obvious survival value, just there. Scientists struggled to describe what they were seeing because the word that kept coming to mind was grief. Then came the dolphins. Mirror tests showed they could recognize themselves, a capability once considered proof of higher self-awareness, exclusive to humans and great apes. Then the crows, tool use, multi-step problem solving, memory for human faces. Then the orcas, teaching hunting techniques to their young across generations, forming dialects, cultural traditions, mourning their dead. One by one, the qualities we reserved for ourselves began appearing elsewhere. And with each discovery came the same uncomfortable realization. We had been wrong about how alone we are. But none of this fully explains the rescues, because here's what makes them scientifically strange. These behaviors don't pay off. A dolphin gains nothing from pushing a stranger toward shore. A whale protecting a seal from killer whales receives no evolutionary reward. Standard evolutionary theory, which says animals act in ways that benefit their genes or their group, has no clean answer for this. The usual frameworks break down. So researchers looked deeper, and what they found was this. The capacity to respond to distress in another creature may not be a human invention. It may be one of the oldest features of the animal mind. Rats have been documented freeing trapped companions, even when no reward was offered, and even when freeing them cost the rat something. Elephants will go far out of their way to help other elephants in trouble. Chimpanzees comfort individuals who have lost a fight, even when the comforter had no stake in the outcome. The pattern kept appearing across species too different to share it by coincidence. Empathy, it turns out, did not begin with us. We inherited it. This is where the science becomes genuinely unsettling, because if empathy is ancient, if it runs through the animal kingdom in some form, then the question is not why certain animals occasionally respond to a suffering human. The question is why we ever assumed they wouldn't. Consider what animals actually do all day. They read intention, constantly. A gazelle doesn't flee every large shape that moves. It reads posture, direction, speed, the precise angle of a predator's gaze. It's asking, in real time, is this creature hunting or resting? Is it coming for me? This is not instinct in the simple sense. This is ongoing, active evaluation. Wild animals are some of the most sophisticated intention readers on Earth because their survival depends on it. And here's what that means. We were never invisible to them. We were always being read, assessed, categorized. For most of human prehistory, the assessment came back the same: threat, flee. But occasionally, in specific conditions, something in that calculation shifted. A human moved slowly enough, showed no predatory posture, carried no weapon, and something in an animal's evolved threat reading system arrived at a different conclusion. This one is not hunting. This one is in danger. The seal that circled a drowning swimmer off England for 40 minutes. The dolphins that held formation around a group of humans while a great white circled below, the elephant that repeatedly stepped between her mahout and a charging male. These are not miracles. They are not proof that animals love us. They are something stranger. They are moments when the architecture of animal cognition, built over millions of years to read other creatures, extended its logic to include us. We tend to think of ourselves as the ones who extended protection to the natural world. We built the sanctuaries. We wrote the conservation laws. We named the endangered species. But that framing may have the story backwards, because the wild has been watching us the entire time, reading our posture, tracking our movements, modeling our intentions with tools that predate language, that predate civilization, that predate everything we use to describe ourselves. And in certain moments, unrepeatable, impossible to fully predict, something out there arrives at a conclusion. This creature is in trouble. I can help. And it does. Which leaves the most unsettling possibility of all. When a wild animal saves a human life, it may not be revealing something unusual about the animal. It may be revealing something we never fully understood about ourselves. That the boundary we drew between us and them was not a fact about nature. It was a story we told ourselves, and nature never agreed to it.